Look around. You are working harder than your parents did. You have more technology, more efficiency, and more access to information than any generation in human history, yet you are fundamentally poorer. You have a supercomputer in your pocket, but you lose sleep over next month's rent. Buying a home feels like a mathematical impossibility. Groceries are a luxury. Saving money feels like trying to fill a bucket with a hole in the bottom. Let's look at the cold, hard math. In 1970, the median American family earned about $9,800 a year. The median cost of a house was roughly $23,000. That means a house cost just about 2.5 times the annual income. One working parent could buy a home, support a family of 4, buy a car, and still put money in the bank for the future. Fast forward to 2026. The median home price is pushing $450,000, while the median individual income struggles to break $50,000. A house is now almost 9 times your salary. You need 2 incomes just to survive, and a side hustle just to save. You are running twice as fast just to stay in the exact same place. You are not lazy, you are not stupid, and you are not doing it wrong. You are simply playing a game where the rules were secretly changed before you were even born. To understand why you are broke today, you don't need to look at your bank account. You need to look at the calendar, specifically August 15th, 1971. On that Sunday evening, President Richard Nixon interrupted national television to make an announcement. In a short speech, he completely severed the US dollar's tie to gold. Before 1971, your money was real. It was a receipt for physical gold held in a vault. The government could not spend money they didn't have because they couldn't print physical gold. Money represented stored energy, real sacrifice, and human labor. But after 1971, money became fiat, a Latin word meaning "let it be done." Money became an illusion. It was no longer backed by gold or reality. It was backed only by the promise of politicians. When you remove the anchor from a ship, it drifts. When you remove gold from money, the government gains the power to print infinite amounts of it. Think about the tragedy of this exchange. You spend 40 to 50 hours a week working. You are trading your finite, irreplaceable life energy, time you will never get back, for pieces of paper. But the institution paying you can create those exact same pieces of paper out of thin air by simply pressing a button. This is the ultimate scam of the modern age. You are forced to earn money linearly with your sweat. The system prints it exponentially for free. And this brings us to the silent tax that is destroying your life right now. A tax they purposely never taught you in school. Inflation. It is not the price of your groceries going up. It is the value of your life energy going down. But where does that stolen value go? It doesn't just vanish into thin air. Wealth cannot be destroyed. It can only be transferred. To understand who is stealing your future, we have to look at an economic principle discovered in the 18th century. It is called the Cantillon Effect. Named after the French-Irish economist Richard Cantillon, this rule explains the darkest secret of modern capitalism. The rule is simple. When new money is created, it does not distribute evenly. The people closest to the printing press get rich, and the people furthest away pay the price. Imagine a system where the government drops millions of newly printed dollars, but only into the VIP section. The banks, the massive corporations, the hedge funds, they get the money first. And when they get it, the prices of everything haven't gone up yet. The money still has its full purchasing power. So what do? They buy real assets, real estate, farmland, stocks, gold. By the time that new money trickles down to you through a tiny wage increase or a government stimulus check, months or years have passed. The VIPs have already spent the money and driven up the prices of everything. Your rent goes up, your groceries double in price. You get a 3% raise at work, while the cost of living jumps by 15%. You are mathematically losing the game. This is exactly why, during every major crisis, the working class loses their homes, while billionaires double their net worth. It is not an accident. It is a mathematical feature of a fiat system. The middle class is taught a lie from birth. You are taught to go to school, get a safe job, stay out of debt, and put your money in a savings account. You are taught to hold cash. But in a system that prints infinite money, holding cash is financial suicide. Cash is not safety. Cash is a melting ice cube. The elite know this. They don't hoard cash. They hoard assets. They use debt, the very thing you are taught to fear, to buy assets that will inflate in value as the currency collapses. They are playing chess while you were programmed to play checkers. Anger is the natural response to this realization, but anger does not build empires. You cannot fight the Federal Reserve. You cannot change the rules established in 1971, but you can stop playing their game. To survive the economic shift of the 2020s, you must undergo a complete psychological reset. You must unlearn everything the school system taught you about money. You must transition from a consumer to an owner. The first step is understanding the difference between being rich and being wealthy. The system wants you to want to be rich. Rich is loud. Rich is a finance sports car, a designer watch bought on credit, and a lifestyle designed to impress people you don't even like. Luxury brands are not for the elite. They are a tax on the middle class who are desperate to look like the elite. Being rich is a trap that forces you to work forever just to maintain an illusion. Wealth is entirely different. True wealth is silent. Wealth is not about buying things, it is about buying your freedom. It is the ability to wake up in the morning and say, I can do whatever I want today. So, how do you build silent wealth in a world of infinite money printing? Rule number 1, stop trading your time for melting ice cubes. You must aggressively convert your fiat currency into hard assets. Hard assets are things that require real energy to produce and cannot be printed by a politician. Real estate, farmland, precious metals, businesses that generate cash flow, and fundamentally scarce digital networks. When the government prints another $1 trillion, your cash loses value, but your hard assets reprice upwards to absorb that newly printed money. Assets are your shield against the hidden tax of inflation. Rule number 2, practice stealth wealth. When you begin to accumulate assets, remain invisible. Do not upgrade your lifestyle to match your income. The moment you start flexing your money, you attract two enemies: the taxman and people who want what you have. In a world full of loud noise and fake success, the most dangerous person in the room is the one who has nothing to prove. Keep your expenses low, your investments high, and your mouth shut. The greatest trick the financial elite ever played was convincing you that the system is broken. It is not broken. It is functioning exactly as it was designed to. It was designed to extract your time, to keep you in debt, and to keep you distracted. But now you know the rules, and once you see the matrix, you cannot unsee it. The era of saving cash is over. The era of ownership has begun. The choice is yours. If you are ready to stop playing by their rules and start building real power, subscribe to this channel. Welcome to the Silent Wealth Society.